Hello, 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 everybody. This is Derek Jones. I'm going to give you another little, training. Alicia and I like to do these things to give you guys a little bit of value. Tonight, I'm going to give you something that I shared with my team a little while ago, and I call it residual versus residual training. So I'm going to give you a pre-recorded video, but you'll still get the same training nonetheless. But I wanted to share this with you guys tonight, so enjoy. All right, welcome everybody to the training, Saturday training. Hopefully everybody's having a great weekend, and we are going to get started in about 30 seconds. I'm going to wait for some folks to get back on. And today's training is called residual versus residual, and I'm going to explain to you guys what that is all about. So hold tight for just a couple of more seconds here, and then I'll get started. And then if you aren't able to watch this now, please watch the replay, because it's on Facebook Live, so you can always see it. When the slides come up, make sure you hold your phone in landscape mode if you're on a cell phone like this. That way you'll be able to see the image clearer and bigger. So I'll get started here in a couple seconds, and get ready for residual versus residual training. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get started. You traditionally in this network marketing business, we join this business most of us join this business because of the promise of residual income. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to define what that really means, so that you'll understand where you need to go and what you need to do in this business to achieve residual income. Okay, and the title of this training, it'll make sense in a few minutes here. So when you're talking about residual versus residual, traditionally in this business, we will see, people who are millionaires, and they have fancy cars, big houses, and all the things that we aspire to have. And so we join these businesses because we want to try to, attain that wealth, attain that financial freedom. And so a lot of times in most network marketing businesses, you will get trained and you will get told to get the residual income by way of recruiting a large team, training that team, duplicate yourself, train the team, and if that team works, they'll push that volume up and you'll hit the ranks and you'll make the money. And as long as that team continues to work, then you will have the residual income that you're looking for. And of course, over time, people may quit, and you may have to continually recruit in order for you to build the residual income, so that you don't necessarily have to be there all the time because you're duplicating yourself, right? And so this is what we're taught. You make your list of 100 people, you call those people, you prospect, and you do all those things that you're supposed to do, and you build the residual income. This can be done, but you have to know that a lot of people may not necessarily have the skill set, they may not necessarily have the training, or they may not necessarily have the personality to be a massive recruiter. Okay, and so when a person realizes that they are not like that, a lot of times they quit, because the only way to get success in their mind is to have a big team. And so if they don't have a big team, then they get discouraged. And so today, I'm not going to discount this way, because this way has made a lot of people rich. But I want you to see the other side. There's always more than one way to quote unquote skin a cat. And so when you get the dream, your dream, whatever your dream is, whatever your more is, it may be a mansion, it may be paying your car note off, or paying your utilities, with money from Vita Divina. Whatever your dream is, the dream that you want to live, you have to know what your path is to get there, right? And so we talked about, recruiting a massive team, building your residual income. A lot of us will be able to do that. A lot of us won't be able to do that, right? This is the real conversation. But that does not mean you quit, right? Because this is a no quitting zone here. We don't want you to quit. Let me flip back. We don't want you to quit. We don't want you to quit. Okay? You're going to keep hearing that in your head when you go to sleep tonight. We don't want you to quit. And so we're going to equip you with the tools that you're going to need, so that you'll know that there's more than one way to go. So when way 1 doesn't work, you'll have way 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to go to the next slide. And I want you to understand that this training is about giving you tools and mindset, but it's really about you doing a self-evaluation as to which way you want to run the business, right? Because you can do both, right? You can do retail and you can do recruiting, right? At the same time, right? In that, a lot of people are making money doing both, right? But like I said, there are those of us who may not necessarily be the best recruiter, right? You might get one person, and 6 months later, you may still be sitting on that one person. And normally, a person who's in that situation normally will quit the business, because they think that that's the only way to success. That would be wrong, because if you look to the left side of your screen, that retail is a cash cow too. There's a lot of people that are making $1,000, $2,000 a week on retail by itself, right? And you cannot discount this, because all money is green, right? And so you want to look at, when you look at retail, you want to look at things like, we always talk about, vending and, different types of ways that you can market online, business pages and boosting the business page, and just trying to get your name out there, trying to let people know, let the world know that you're in business, so that you can build that customer base, right? And I'm going to illustrate to you, or at least talk to you about the retail side of residual income, and then we'll talk about the recruiting side, so you'll understand both, so you'll have an idea about, what type of person you are. I don't, right? So you're going to have to figure out which makes the most sense to you based on who you are, right? And so when you talk about retail business, when you talk about making retail money, the foundation of residual income through a retail business is loyal customers, right? If you have enough loyal customers paying you every month, because they need those products every month. And the benefit of us being in a company like Vita Divina, where we have products that actually work for people, the loyal customer base is going to be even easier than it is for a lot of other companies, right? Because I always tell you, your target market is every human being with a pulse. When you're talking about who wants to be healthy, who wants to lose weight, who wants energy, who wants, we got the electroshot drinks and the Factor Divina and all of that. When you have those products that are that strong, people are going to keep coming back. The question is are they going to come back to you, right? And so when you build that loyal customer base, and those customers are purchasing from you every single month, because let's say, for an example, they're taking a Gano, and the Gano has brought their levels down with diabetes so drastically that they, didn't even have to be on their diabetes medication. That person is going to be your customer for life, right? Because you have something that actually is healthier for them to take, and their levels are going to stay low. So what ends up happening is that if they buy from you every month, you can count on that money now, Now you have a residual income business because that one customer is going to tell someone else, and they're going to tell someone else, and then that one becomes 50. If you have 50 customers buying 3 products every month, you have money where you didn't have money before, right? Now, in that scenario, I never said anything about recruiting one person. Think about it. You got people out here making $2,000 and $3,000 a week on retail, right? So you have to be really good at letting people know you're in business and closing the deal and letting them. The biggest thing is that you're going to have to know your products. You're going to have to know your company. They're not going to buy anything from you if they don't believe you. So you have to really take a step back and take a few seconds and think about this, right? Now you can do a retail business, and a lot of times, what we used to say in the other business was retail to recruit. When people see you making money, just by sheer, the way human beings are built, they're going to want to find out how you're making the money, and then they're going to join you. So you'll end up getting a team on the recruiting side just because you focused on retail. How about that, right? That's crazy. So you got to think about it like this. The foundation, and I'm going to flip back, the foundation of both sides is the retail business. You still got to know the products, and you have to know your company so that you will be able to, to fund whatever else you need to fund. You're selling the tea, you're selling all these different products, and you're getting the profits back, and you're reinvesting in your business, and now you're able to start to get some things. You got some, your clothes looking a little better. You got your hair done a little more often, and now people are like, what is she doing? What is he doing? I need to join them. But you started off with a heavy retail business. It's the foundation for everything, right? And so you have to look at that. And you could also be the person that just has the mouth from the south, and you people are listening to you and they want to follow you, and you got 30 people on your team. Do that. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying if that doesn't happen, you have plan B, right? But what I'm also saying is that plan B really needs to be plan A, because that is what's going to generate people to join you, and it's going to generate people to buy from you at the same time. So why not start there? That's all I'm saying. But once again, this is my opinion. I don't want you to say that I told you that you had to go this route or the other. I'm just saying stats don't lie, right? If people buy product, then you make a profit. If you make a profit and those points roll up, you will make money, right? And that's just business. That's the retail business, right? If you get a team of people, let's say it's 10 people, and you're only dependent on those 10 people, and 5 of them quit, your money just got cut in half, right? If you do a retail business where you have loyal customers and their life depends on these products working for them, they're not going to leave as easy as that person that quit. Get it? So we're going to go to the next slide, but I need you guys to really think about which direction you want to go. If you want to do both at the same time, like Alicia and I are doing both at the same time, right? But we really going to focus on getting those loyal customers, because they don't go anywhere once they know the products work for them, right? So keep this in mind. I do these images in a way that's very simple, because if it's a simple image, it'll burn in your brain and you can hear my voice behind it. I need for you guys to understand this loyal customer base is going to be the foundation for a lot of your business. So really think about that, okay? Now, on the recruiting side, the key to you building a big team is duplicating yourself, right? But think about it like this. We can say duplicating tongue-in-cheek, right? But at the end of the day, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, why would you duplicate something that's not right, right? So when you're talking about building a team, you have to be prepared to be a leader. You have to be prepared to be the owner of the information and not the person who's always looking to someone else to get it, right? Be proactive, not reactive, right? This is what your people that are going to be on your team are going to look for you for. Because if you always defer them to me, they're not going to trust you to lead them. And if you have a lot of people on your team that don't trust you, you don't really have a team, right? So you want to duplicate your efforts. And in this business, in the binary system, building a team, if you're able to do it, it's not really that difficult because you're only getting people, like at the bare minimum, everybody that you bring in, you teach them how to bring in 2 people and have them teach their people how to bring in 2 people. And if everybody brings in 2 people, your team is going to be crazy. Don't focus on getting 30 people. Focus on getting 2 people and getting them to get 2. That's how this works, right? When you think, I got to get 30 people, you're going to get discouraged because you may not get 30. But if you get 2, and then they both get 2, and then those people both get 2 because you're teaching them to duplicate, the efforts, and this is the website you need to go to for training, and you need to do this, and you need to stay plugged in, then your team will grow without you even knowing it, right? So don't get discouraged. That's what this is all about. Don't get discouraged. We want you to stay. We want you to get what you came here. Everybody that signed in with Vita Divina came here because they wanted something more. And if you just did it for kicks, I don't know what to say, but I think everybody here either wants to help people or make money. And I think that's 100% of the audience here. So we want to make sure that you can do both. And you can do both whether you're bringing people in or not. You can do both. If you have a big team and you're not really doing that well on retail, you're still making money somehow, some way. We want to give you the tools for that. So duplication. You got to make sure that you are plugged into everything, plugged into these trainings, plugged into Vita Divinas, information, and they're eventually going to do trainings and stuff too. Stay plugged in so that when somebody joins you, you can answer their questions without you having to call somebody else. That's powerful. People want to follow leaders. People don't like to follow other followers, and that's just real talk. So remember that. That's why I put these images out here. Remember this image. See the image of all the people standing there in that big team? You got to be able to duplicate yourself so that if you train these people, and you guys know this information, if you train somebody to do what you do, then you can go home and be sick for a week and your business will still run because everybody's trained to go. That's what we want you guys to be. We want you to be independent. So independent meaning independent thought. You can go get the resources yourself. You know how to work a vending table. You know how to talk to somebody if you're recruiting them. Ask the questions, and we can fill in the blanks for you. If you don't, they always say scared money don't make money, right? If you're scared to ask a question about something that you want to learn, you're always going to stay where you are, right? So I'm not going to be here too much longer. This is just for me to plant the seed, right? We want to see things grow. We want you guys to grow. So the basis, no matter, and I talked about this in the beginning, the basis of both different ways of you getting residual income, you got to be a master at your products, right? You got to be a master. No matter what lane you decide, you have to become a product master. You have to, and when I say that doesn't mean that like next year we're supposed to have 180 products. I'm not saying be a master of 180 products. Start off with 5. Be a master at 5, and then be a master at 10, and be a master at 20. And that way, when you're out retailing this stuff, the questions get answered on the spot when they ask you. Right? You don't have to say, oh, let me call Derek real quick. And you at the vending table? No, that doesn't work that way. They want their answers right then and there. And you have to be the owner of the information. And so the way that you do that is to study, right? And you're going to have to study, right? It's just like school. You don't pass the test. Passing the test is you getting a check. You don't get a check unless you know what you're talking about. You don't get a check unless you know how to deliver that information properly so that people will want to continue to come back to you and become a loyal customer, right? And we have in our system now, you could put somebody in and sign them up, and they could just be a preferred customer, and they can get, a few products every month religiously, and it helps your business on the volume side, and it also allows them to get, a discount. Like if you have somebody you want to be able to pay $40, you can do them that. that favor as being a loyal customer. Or let's say they've been a loyal customer for 6 months and you want to give them the gift of wholesale, and you say, okay, you've been my customer for 6 months. Now I'm going to put you in the system and you can get everything for $40 now. Thank you so much for your support, right? I'm telling you this not as a rule. I'm telling you this is that you have options to create your own system. Okay? I don't own the system. I just own my own ideas, and you're going to have your own ideas of what you think is going to work for the people you deal with. Become a master at your product and your company so that you can close people by yourself. If you need help with that, you have to ask the question. We can get you straight. You just have to be able and willing to say, I need help in this department so that we can close that for you. Because we want you to win. I want you to have a big team. I want you to be able to make a lot of money with retail. I want you to do both, right? But you're not going to be able to do that unless you know who you are to know what you need help on. If you know you hate talking to people and going up to people and you know, selling the business to them, so to speak, marketing the business, then you might do better at a vending table where the people come to you, right? You got to think about who you are and think about what's going to work best for you. So I know I keep repeating stuff, but when I repeat it, that means it's important to me, and I want you guys to understand that we care. You guys, you know, chose to be a part of our lineage, whether directly or indirectly, and so we want to make sure that you guys are taken care of. So this is the last slide, and I kind of did this slide in a way, it's kind of an analogy, and we always hear in network marketing that the fortune is in the follow-up, right? And we talked really heavily today about loyal customers, right? Loyal customers only remain loyal if you keep in contact with them, right? When you're out at a vending table or you're out recruiting, you have to get their information so that you can call them back and check on them. If somebody, you think about it like this, and then we'll talk about the image on the screen in a second. If you're sick and you're in the hospital, right? And I come and check on you every day, right? And this is just an analogy. If I come and check on you every week and I bring you a card and I ask you how you feeling and hope you get better soon. When you get out of the hospital, if I asked you to help me out, you're going to be willing to help me out more than somebody that you didn't hear from while you was down, right? So you want to make sure that you are the person that's checking up on the people that's helped you. That's part of your job, is following up. And this is one of the things that a lot of people forget, because you get caught up on the single sale. You sell one product and you're like, woohoo, I got a sale. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Let me do this. You get caught up on one sale and you drop the mic because you got the sale and you happy and you made the money off of the sale and you walk away. But you got to understand what you're walking away from is a loyal customer. And you're also walking away from residual income. And that's why you came here, because of this right here. Right? So let's get that. Right? And so the image that I have here, it's a guy getting a woman's phone number. He's out socially. He wants to close the deal, right? And you don't close the deal without leaving there without her information, right? That way he can call her back and hopefully, you know, they'll be able to go out and spend some time together. But he can't do anything until he gets her information. It's the same thing that we have to do. We have to close the deal. We got to get their information so we can call back and check on them. Make sure they good. Anything else you need? Matter of fact, we just came out with the Electrolyte Kids this week. Would you be interested in trying that out? I know you have a couple kids. Maybe you might like this new product. Oh, the dog treats just came out this week. Because I've already built a relationship with you. They're going to be more apt to buy something new from you because the other stuff works for them already. It's called upselling. You guys need to really do your homework on these products. You're going to have to really do your homework on the company, because when you are the owner of the information, your posture gets strong. And when your posture gets strong, people trust you and they don't even know you. just because of the confidence that you have, right? And think about it like this, especially the ladies. It's nothing better than a confident man, right? The confident man gonna close the deal way quicker than somebody that's meek and timid, right? It's the same thing in sales. Confidence rules the day. So in order for you to get confidence, you have to be the owner of the information. And once you're the owner of the information, you still got to practice. You still got to go out there and talk to people about it. That's how you get good. So I'm going to close this out. Hopefully you guys have a few things to think about. Residual versus residual. Choose your lane or choose both of them, but choose something. Right? You have to really dig down deep and figure out how you want to work this, because if you don't, you will get lost. Remember, we talked about a map. You got to create a map to where you want to go. And if you don't follow that map, if you don't even create the map, you're going to get lost and you will quit. So, like I said, this is a no quit zone. If you want to stay plugged in and run with us, we're here to help you. If you don't want to create that map, I'm telling you right now, you're going to make a little bit of money in the beginning, but it's not going to work long term because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know where you want to go. And like Alicia always says, and we hear this in network marketing, you got to know the number to hit the number, right? You got to know how much you want to make so that you can break it down week by week and see how much you're going to make week by week. And then you're going to have to see what activity you're going to have to do to hit that weekly number, right? So you're going to have to do the same thing with figuring out whether you want to do heavy on retail. Do you want to just recruit crazy, go hit the streets, get your blitz cards, call people, get on the internet, inbox folks, and try to build your team? Either way, you got to have goals set every week, or you're going to get lost in the sauce, right? So I'm going to leave you there. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. And, I will say this in closing. If you're not active in the business, you don't have a business. And I'm going to leave that there. We're glad that you guys are lined up and partnered up with us, and we're going to see you guys at the top. Like literally see you at the top. Like everybody just needs to pull those bootstraps up, and let's run together. Let's run together. Y'all have a great evening, and we will talk to you soon. All right, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed that training. That obviously it was a pre-recorded training, but I wanted to give you guys some value tonight. So hopefully you enjoyed it. There's more to come. We got some more exciting stuff to come in the weeks to come. So stay tuned. We always got your back. And, every time that I do trainings, some people may think it's a little elementary. Some people, may get some value. And I try not to go over people's heads. I try not to go too low. I try to stay in the middle because I want to get as many people as possible. I want to try to attack all comprehension levels because at the end of the day, like I said before, we don't want to lose anybody. So you guys have a great evening, and we will talk to you soon. Have a great night.